guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee!
How you doing, fellas? That's not decaf, is it?
Viennese cinnamon.
Viennese cinnamon. Delicious coffee. Another fucking day. Gosh, guys. I'm not sure how to feel today. It's been a weird week. I want to say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Marshall. How you doing, buddy? And of course to my buddy here, Martina Costa Santana. How are you doing today, Martin?
I'm doing everything's good.
Oh, that's good to hear.
How
buddy.
are you in the chat, people?
I hope everybody's having a good day. Kingsport Cal is here too. Let's see who else is already here. Scrolling through. Socks is here. Good morning, Socks. Dr. Dragon is here. Good morning. D. Bud Martin. Tin Man. Some of the gang is already here. It's a sluggish morning, man. I'm really needing this coffee right now. Oh, man. Penny is here. Good morning, Penny. I hope your son is awake. I would like to see him today. He's been working hard on the website for Josh Becker. Let me go make sure I send an invite out to him because I don't know if I did. Where's our private chat? Yours, Keith, Danny, and me. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Where is it? No, fuck it. It's sent. You know what? I'll send one to that one too. There we go. It's been such a weird week. Weird. You don't recognize that? That's actually from a movie. That is John Candy in Little Shop of Horrors. Weird. Oh, man. Is Anima here? There she is. She is there. Anima, check your messages. If you feel up to it. There we go. I sent Keith an invite, but just so you guys know, called it quits with my relationship. I've been keeping it kind of on the down low. It's not something I want to talk about too much. You know, it's, what do they say? It's nobody's business. But I just look at it as something not to bother people with. Oh, fuck Kevin Smith. Man, I kind of went after, what is that girl's name?
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
Can we make that expression a ticker banner? Fuck Kevin Smith and let it roll all day.
I really cannot stand that guy anymore. He lost all street cred in around 2016, 2017. He just absolutely fucking lost his cool with any but other nerds. Good morning, Wolverine. Good morning, Scribe Light. Yeah, you know, we're doing the trying to stay friends thing. Time will tell. You know, it's convenient to say I want to be friends, but you have to act like a friend. You know, conduct yourself like a friend. And if you can't do that, then it's just fake. You know, you're being fake, and I won't do that. I won't pretend to be something I'm not. Yes, it's true. I acted. I did a lot of stage acting. That's different. When it comes to life, I live by a set of rules that, you know, because I came in through the medical field, and I've adopted that thing in my life to do no harm, to always try to be the best person I can be at all times. I know I'm kind of a dick. I know that. I'm dickish. It's part of my charm. But, you know, it's just been an exhausting transition. And the sooner Warner Brothers Discovery announces Flash reshoots to replace Ezra Miller, the better. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on over there because I've been ahead of the curve on a lot of this stuff. I predicted that he was going to absolutely collapse. He was on a downward spiral, Ezra Miller, and that he's now a felon doesn't surprise me one bit. His involvement previously in a cult and now spreading his wings to make his own cult shows the megalomaniacal mind of what he really is. He's deranged. His career was already over. This, you know, uptick to him being a felon. Morning, Keith.
Hey.
Morning, Keith.
His uptick into being a felon now, criminal felon. What was it? Criminal burglary, felony level. And that was going to come. I expect this to be worse. I expect worse to come. My biggest fear with him is that he harms somebody, and when I say harm, I'm not talking about choking him out in the street or throwing a chair at him. I'm talking about something worse with him, because I believe that it's there within him, his conduct, everything. Because, you know, I worked in that field dealing with people like this, and I'm telling you, escalation is the nature of madness. It doesn't calm down. It escalates.
This is the part. This is the part of it that I really do not understand about people who are taking shots right now at David Zaslav and getting rid of.
Well, they're doing. You know why they're doing it, Keith.
The thing is that Walter Hamada is the one that really has to answer for why Ezra Miller is still hired, and these people don't want to ask that. They want to dance around it. They want to try to make this about other things. They want to try to bring in Miss Smollett and a few other people to try to make some sort of a cosmic case. All of this is really radically simple. Okay, you have people that are working on trying to turn this company around. Okay, and they have questions. You have someone who is obviously mentally ill. You also have in other areas another portion to the organization that mirrors something that's already established. So you're wasting money. And I mean, and that's just the tip of what Zaslav's been able to find out in just taking a year to look at everything. I'm sure there's a lot more coming. But,
without a doubt. Can I read what you wrote last night?
Oh, sure.
This was in the private chat with Tom, Andre, and Baum and Mikey Sutton and you know, just the group of us. And we were, man, that chat blew up yesterday, buddy. There was so much going on, and Mikey's like, look at all this stuff that really all of us have been talking about. And Tom has his connections, in Hollywood, and he's been rummaging around, digging in. I have no contacts in California. My contact is fucking Mikey Sutton, because honestly, I fucking hate Hollywood people. So why would I want to have a network out there? I only have a handful of movie and TV actor friends and producer directors. And I suspect a few of them don't really like me because of my views. But they're nice to me. And they agree to come on the show. But here's what you wrote last night. Walter Hamada's 3 greatest mistakes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now.
He was completely unfamiliar with the source material. Something tells me that the reason he and Jim Lee were friends, in quotation marks, was mainly due to Jim being co-publisher of DC Comics. 2, he completely trusted every single thing that Ann Sarnoff and Toby Emmerich said, and did so much that they might as well have run DC Films themselves. And I think they did. He did whatever they said. 3, besides going woke and absolutely no detailed plan for DC Films, looks like he was doing with the bra plan today, feeling mighty stoked about these bitchin' scripts. Definitely not a Grom or Barney among them, dude. So it was well said. It was well said.
It's just how I felt. And that was one of those in the moment type things, because you got people, there are people actually trying to defend Walter Hamada. And especially in that one, there was an Instagram post by some of these ladies of color who are trying to defend the fact that it's very important to get all this stuff that Hamada was doing out there. And my only thing is, look, I'd feel differently if you guys weren't trying to defend probably one of the worst people to ever run DC Films.
Yeah.
Because his point of view had nothing to do with any of the things that made Kevin Feige perfect for running the MCU. You could tell from the way that he talked that he had absolutely no idea on how to run any type of...
Well, this all, look, let's go back. I mean, we both know that this started when Alan Horn was forced to leave.
Yes.
Back in the 2000s, and Kevin, whatever his fucking name is, wanted to fucking...
Actually, no, it was his predecessor.
He wanted to euthanize Warner Brothers, is the whole thing. We want some new blood in here. Wait, good morning, Chris. How you doing, buddy? Wolverine, Gap After Dark. Aaron Ratliff, what's up, buddy? And is this a new person? I think this is a new person.
Yes.
I need to see how to pronounce that.
Sightich 64.
Sightich. Good morning. Welcome to the show, my friend. I want to go back to a couple of comments here that just came through. Chris, our good friend, reminds me to talk about how I broke my conditioning from groomer and now messed up it was someday. Yeah, pop on the show, buddy. I know you're busy right now. No worries, but love to talk to you about it. And I do want to bring up Anne Heche too, because You know, she's crazy. We know she's crazy. She really does suffer from mental illness. She suffered for a long time. She's like Margot Kidder level, you know. But anyway, Aaron wrote, dude is running around in body armor and carrying guns and ranting about the FBI. He's completely deranged. And like I said, someone's going to either get hurt or killed. That's my prediction. That before they bring him in, I don't know. My fear is that it's going to be somebody who fell for his mentally ill people. Know, especially, you know, because he's kind of a predator, and I'm not going to call him a sexual predator. He's a predator. He knows how to use people, abuse relationships, and I see this doing nothing more than escalate. It's going to continuously. It's not gone like up and down. It went up, leveled out, and then went up again. It's never been on a downward slope. And I've been watching it since this shit started. And I'm telling you, this is bad. And it could easily get worse quickly. And he's megalomaniacal. He really has this false sense of what's that called? Self-actualization. This is when people think that they are self-actualized and they see a value to themselves far greater than what it really is. I mean, they're nothings, but they see themselves as a great spiritual or social leader. And they're nothing but fucking minions of insanity.
And that's what I'm afraid of. I'm not saying that you know, Ezra couldn't hurt anybody.
Oh, Script is in the chat.
Hey, Script. I'm just afraid that he will use his followers to cause harm to someone else. You know, I mean, I'm getting a lot of really bad vibes about him and his people. Because to look, as an adult, and there are adults around him, even though you're getting reports of a lot of young people, there are also people even older than he is, including one guy who seems to be, his only job seems to be to carry guns around and look all tough and stuff. I'm afraid that things are going to get really out of hand.
It's exactly, you're exactly right, Saitich. I'm telling you, he is going to continue to escalate until he is absolutely apprehended and or stopped, period. My concern is that he's going to go out in a blaze of glory. People like that, often that's what they think. I hate saying something like that. I really do. I don't like him, but that doesn't mean I want him to fucking be blown apart by a bunch of feds and cops.
Talking about this type of behavior in Hollywood, we haven't seen this since at least the early 1970s. So.
Oh, look, hold on a second. Wolverine, you know this. You've heard us. Deadline, all those guys, really. The Rap, all of them. They're all paid. They all are in the pocket of these guys that no longer work at Warner Brothers. And they're going to continue doing this. They hate Zaslav because he fired their friends who paid them money. Zaslav's not paying them money. He's like, fuck you guys. He's about using money correctly. And so these shield magazines are going to continue doing what they're doing. They're going to continue promoting nothing. There's nothing. They're promoting nothing. It's never going to happen. All these fan magazines that you see, you know, I don't know about Fansided. I don't know about them, but I do know that comicbook.com, all those shill comic book entertainment news sites are fan sites of certain people. And it is not Snyder and it is not Zaslav. And it is coming. We've been preaching it. We've been telling you guys because we've been hearing it from one of the best sources in Hollywood. And that's Mikey Sutton. Mikey Sutton has been whispering in our ears and publishing things. And I'm telling you, fucking Deadline's garbage. The Wrap, Hollywood Reporter, Variety in particular is garbage.
Yeah.
They are nothing but a mouthpiece for the studios. That's all they are. You'll never see them do a real journalism on Hollywood.
Yeah.
The Marshall, I mean, I am no professional and I got no context in the industry, but from outside perspective, Mata sounds like a talent. Yeah, he's a talentless hack. Of course he is. Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, he's a real piece of shit in my opinion. Even though he had no idea what he was doing or even cared about the IP he was handed. Yeah, he's just an absolute piece of shit. And I want to get to the script doctor's comments. Just finished a big bowl of ice cream. It's today.
Wow.
Fucking ice cream for breakfast, motherfucker. Fuck it, it's cream. It's just happens to be frozen. Anyway, hysterical that Zaslav wants new blood in Warner Brothers Discovery, yet brings in Alan Horn and is thinking of continuing to take DC that led to Warner Brothers collapse and acquisition in the first place. I don't know about that. I haven't heard anything about New Blood. Did you hear something, Script? I didn't hear anything about New Blood.
You're more than welcome to come on.
Yeah, Script. You know you're welcome here anytime, but I think he's got to go to work. He's doing something.
Look.
Good morning, Monkey Jeebus. Hey.
I will say what I have been saying for a while. I'm not someone who is on any kind of payroll for David Zaslav. I don't know the man. I don't work for the man in any way, shape, or form. What I do know is, and everyone knows this, that Warner Brothers has been off track for quite a while. And many of the people who are getting praise from certain media outlets and definitely trying to rally some sort of cause online on Instagram and on Twitter are people that only want to see Batgirl.
Well, you heard what I said, right, about this when we were live the other day. You and I are both saying, look, man, there are enough fans out there that want to see Snyderverse. There's that many. But good luck finding enough signatures to get Batgirl released.
Plus,
because the problem with Batgirl, and this is why Kevin Smith is a fucking idiot, he doesn't even mention whether it was a good or bad film. All he cares about is the race of the star. That's all he cares about. That's a woke mentality. The reason that show got canceled was it was a problem. It was a problem. It wasn't good, is what they were saying. It's not good, and it doesn't match up to what we're trying to do.
And it won't match up with what.
And it won't match up where they're going. It's not going to fit. So good luck getting signatures to get that fucking movie released.
Oh, they'll get their signatures, and I'm sure some way, I'm saying within the next 5 years, it'll get released. But when you see it, I've heard a better description now of what Batgirl was from someone who knew someone that actually went. They said that basically it was they definitely saw it. They were kind in saying, well, it's not that bad. But they said the most unfortunate part of it is it looked no better than what you saw in the CW. And they spent $90 million on it.
Good morning, Lindsay. How are you doing today? It's good to see you in the chat. And it's look, the writing's on the wall with a lot of this stuff. This isn't like a vacuum. We've talked about this, and it's obvious, and they try to pretend like it wasn't, but it was a huge fucking problem. Supergirl was a problem. This was Hamada absolutely trying to displace, not just replace, but displace Henry Cavill
and Ben Affleck.
He wanted to gender swap them and make woke programs, and both these films apparently are woke. We're going to see a lot more destruction coming from what's going on right now as it collapses. And I'm going to be reading the new article by Mikey Sutton here in a minute, just so you can hear. To build a DC studio, Zaslav will need experienced producers whom haven't been with Warner Brothers before, hence new blood. But if sticky... Well, the problem is you're also talking about bad blood, is what you're talking about. He wants new blood because there's a lot of bad blood. Yeah, I roger what you're saying there completely. But if sticking with Snyder's take is their choice, well, what they're doing, the way I'm reading this script is that they want him to finish what he started. They see money in that. Zaslav sees money in that. Whether it's good or bad or whatever, doesn't matter. What they're going to do is continue with the cast that he uses. And they're going to do their own thing. I believe that Henry Cavill has got the clout now to dictate how he plays Superman. And right now, they're going to be lucky if they actually do get him, because there was so much hemming and hawing and lack of announcement, and he's got shit coming up. And if he takes on, Keith said this the other day, if he takes on Bond, they're going to have to recast Superman. If he accepts that job, that's the end of that.
And again, while you'll have people like Walter Hamada that'll be cheering, you have to understand Walter Hamada is not cheering because that was always part of his plan to have a new Superman so they can move forward. He's cheering because he's a dick. Okay, I mean, a lot of these people are petty. It has nothing to do with wanting to do right by Warner Brothers or its shareholders, and everything to do. Look, this is high school mentality stuff. Is how bad Warner Brothers got, and that has to go. I agree with Script Doctor, but I also think that what you're going to have is a lot of these actors who got their start with Snyder being given new leases on life and probably even a slightly altered background in what they've done. I mentioned it before on somebody tried to get snarky on Twitter about all of
what?
This.
Someone got snarky?
I know, right?
Look, man, I'm pissed right now because I tried to get blocked by somebody. I mean, I was just complete fucking asshole to them. And they came back and said something almost borderline nice to me. And I'm like, I said, can a guy get canceled? I'm trying to get canceled.
Yeah.
She goes, I only can't block jerks. And I'm like, I'm a jerk. And then I tagged like Fat Steven Seagal and Dork Knight. I said, tell her I'm a jerk. I'm a complete jerk. Well, she still didn't cancel me. I called her a phony. I said, you're a phony. You pretend to be a nerd. You're not a nerd. A nerd would have known that Predator blood, and someone said, well, she was intentionally doing that. Then that makes her an anti-nerd doing that. She's intentionally provoking nerds. That makes her an anti-nerd. Mm-hmm. I said, she's a phony. And she replied to me, I just block jerks. And then I checked and she didn't block me. I'm like, God damn, man, I completely called you out. Now, she blocked our friend John Trent over at Bounding Into Comics. And but wouldn't fucking block me, man. That made me angry. I'm hurt. Mm-hmm. I'm fucking hurt that she wouldn't block me. And I finally gave up fucking being mean to her. So anyway, this is the article, and I'm sure this is one you were talking about, Marshall. Warner Brothers discovery to use Snyderverse timeline in DCEU. This is the launch, basically they tried launching it, and Hamada and the gang, not just Hamada, before Hamada, they just kept fucking with it.
Yeah.
And fucking with Snyder and fucking with what he was making. Now, I'm not saying what he made is like perfect. My cup of tea. It's not. Yeah. I really, I liked his version of Batman, but his version of Batman is nothing more than Frank Miller's Batman. And I enjoyed his films. I'm a big fan of his other films, but I don't think he's a good writer, and I don't think he's even really that good a director. I couldn't stand his Netflix movies. I thought they were stupid. I got through 25 minutes of the first, that Army of the Dead or whatever that fucking movie is called. Once we got to the scene where they meet with Tig, who's supposed to be this fucking helicopter. Look, man, I've been around a lot of fucking chopper pilots. She did not act like any of them. And I'm talking female chopper pilots. They have a very, very distinct personality type. And they should have fucking had her meet a few actual military chopper pilots before fucking playing that stupid role she was playing. God, so badly written. No, I will say that Watchmen is good. 300 was, I mean, I love those films. 300 and fucking Watchmen, when we finally got to see the director's cut, which included the animation. I liked it. I was very pleased with what he did. I think that he found a better third act plot device than what
the comic.
Because all he did in the comic book is he stole from other material, whereas Zach actually went and fucking used the character within the story to become the threat to all mankind. And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. That way, the Earth and Dr. Manhattan get what they want. He gets to leave and get his freedom, and the Earth gets peace. But of course, it would fall apart in a properly written sequel, because he before dying, he dropped off that diary, Rorschach. So it was all going to unravel eventually. But anyway, to get back to it, I want to read this article. Mikey Sutton wrote, Warner Brothers Discovery will keep the Snyderverse timeline for the DCEU. And that's for now. That's while he's doing what he's doing. But what they're going to continue doing here, and I don't know if he's going to mention that, is they will continue those characters until they get their 10-year plan finished. And then we'll probably see another reboot.
Yeah.
Per YouTube personage, Sil Abdul, who's that? That's our good friend. CEO David Zaslav will not reboot the DCEU. Instead, Zack Snyder's Justice League is canon. Moreover, this includes Snyder's previous DC works such as Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Moving forward, the DCEU will ignore Joss Whedon's chastised version of Justice League. Amen. Shocked? Actually, the piece of the puzzle have always been in plain sight. And that's true. Because that's what you and I have been talking about. People like to ignore it. They can ignore it all they fucking want to. It doesn't mean it's going away. It's like me. You can ignore me all you want to. I'm still going to annoy you. I'm going to be talking behind you in class, saying things like, is that you? Did you fart? Somebody around us farted. I didn't hear it, but I smell it. Do you think it's Tim? What do you think, Don? My friends go, shh, shh. I'm serious, dude. I think something's wrong with them. That shouldn't smell that way. I'm giving you a real conversation. If you don't believe me, ask Jim Woodward. After all, the Flash explained why Keaton suddenly appears in the DCEU. But Warner Brothers Discovery changed release date suddenly. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom now comes out before the Flash.
Gerry,
therefore,
your audio is really going to heck.
I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it.
Okay.
It's the Wi-Fi here. So I apologize. It's going wonky. Is it better now? Does it sound better?
Not really. You're almost close enough to be able to say exterminate. Exterminate.
Oh. Well, do you want to finish reading the article out loud? Starting right here.
I'll take a crack at it. But Warner Brothers Discovery changed release dates. Suddenly, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom now comes out before The Flash. Therefore, Keaton's presence will confuse audiences. Consequently, the studio pulls out Keaton and brings back Affleck. Nevertheless, you can't simply exchange Affleck for Keaton. Indeed, the script will still bewilder moviegoers, especially the multiverse talk. On the other hand, Abdul explained that the script wants a Batman. Obviously, the story is headed to a different narrative, one that requires Affleck. According to Abdul, Affleck wouldn't have agreed to the cameo if he didn't have other DC projects lined up. Moreover, Abdul explained that Zaslav chose Affleck because he wanted to keep the timeline. The day after I published Abdul's story, Aquaman star Jason Momoa confirmed Affleck's appearance via Instagram. In a flash, it became official. At the time, sources told me that Zaslav didn't want to pursue the Flashpoint timeline. I wrote, Warner Brothers Discovery wants to reload and not reboot the DCEU. Shortly thereafter, Zaslav shelved the Batgirl movie. With one strike, Zaslav dealt a huge blow to the Flashpoint timeline. The Flashpoint timeline is former DC Films president Walter Hamada's post-Snyderverse continuity, where Henry Cavill's Superman and Affleck's Batman apparently no longer exist. Abdul's latest reporting fits perfectly with what we're seeing. On August 3rd, I covered Abdul's claim that Warner Brothers Discovery wants to shelve Sasha Cale's Supergirl movie. In fact, Abdul beat Rolling Stone to it by a week. Abdul added that Zaslav had three options. First, he couldn't have followed Whedon's Justice League. Secondly, he had the opportunity to reboot everything with the Flashpoint timeline. Lastly, use the Snyderverse timeline. Zaslav selected the latter. In the end, the evidence is everywhere. The Shazam Fury of the Gods trailer utilized footage from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Marketing or not, the old regime would have never permitted that.
And that was no accident that was done.
Warner Brothers Discovery is one step closer to restore the Snyderverse. Zaslav saves the timeline. This goes back to what I originally said on June 16th, 2021. Beyond this, the Cavill talk grows louder. Ray Fisher's list of foes grows slimmer after Hamada's exit. Once the actors are reunited, only one person remains missing. Boom, 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 boom.
All right, am I still roboting with my voice?
Yeah.
What's the point of doing the show?
There you go. Now you're back to normal.
Okay. That's a huge statement from Mikey. And this is stuff that we've all been talking about in private with Andre and Tom and Mikey. And welcome to the show, Bad Channel. Good morning. How are you doing? Looks like we had some more people. Rusty X 2010. That's new. Unless that's somebody who's changed their name, that is a new person. So welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy our little output here. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that he's in rehab. I don't believe that Ezra gives two shits about rehab at this point. I think he has a fantasy, and he wants to see his fantasy out.
Here's something that kind of crossed my mind, but and certain people aren't going to like this. Leslie Grace and a few other people all have the same.
Who? Oh, you mean old sour face, sweet eyes.
They have a lot of the same people that represent.
Yes, Mom, when you ever happen.
If you were really wanting to salvage anything and strike a blow for Batgirl, why don't you people go and track down Ezra Miller? That would do something. That might even help your case. But Ezra Miller really is the guy you should be mad at, not Zaslav, because his inability to stay out of trouble helped to hasten a lot of what's happening. It's just mind-blowing to me how many people just are that petty. And as far as any future plans, I mean, Zaslav's just trying to make some money, y'all. I mean, Warner Brothers needs some money. They're not the only ones. I mean, Disney still has their bill that they're going to have to pay off for buying the rest of Hulu, and it's not going to be cheap. So, these next few years are going to be interesting for everybody. And I think any opportunity to at least see some semblance of what we fans would like to see from the comics in the form of a lot of the films, it's a good chance to see that. If Miss Grace and her people were actually comic book fans, she did have two other choices. She could have marched her butt right over to see Michael B. Jordan down at Milestone Media and made an Icon movie with him. Or better yet, since she's the flavor of the month and she does have a free pass given to her by everyone currently running Warner Brothers Discovery, including Zaslav, she really wants to make a superhero film. There's one that she could make right now. She could go right into Zaslav's office and suggest that she be Jessica Cruz, and they just go ahead and make a Green Lantern film right now.
By the way, that is interesting, Wolverine, that Marlon Wayans' comedy series moving development from HBO Max to Stars per Deadline. Now, I don't trust Deadline very much, except when it comes to actual scoops. That's interesting. What do you think of that, Keith?
It's to be expected. I mean, you're trying to get a lot of this stuff away from HBO Max.
Because this is something I said before when they named it HBO Max. I said the person who came up with that name should be kicked in the junk. It's the dumbest fucking name. Remember that? I said that like almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking stupidest name I've ever heard.
Because he got HBO Max, HBO Now, HBO Go, and now
it should have simply been something associated with the Warner Archives.
That's what I would have called it. It's like, you know what? Warner Brothers.
Just Warner Brothers channel. Streaming. Whatever you fucking want to call it. Warner. Fuck those people. Good morning to you. I'm going to bet that's Stephanie Beatty there. Showing up.
Here's the thing about Jon Stewart. People who don't read comics are the people that want to do things like, hey, let's just go ahead and have a Jon Stewart Green Lantern, or let's just go ahead and do this person over here. You never have anyone outside of comic book fans that want to see the Green Lantern Corps. That whole story about how even Tom Cruise walked away from Walter Hamada and Ann Sarnoff when they had pitched to him doing a Green Lantern movie, and basically just wanted him there to sort of job for the actor who they were going to cast as Jon Stewart. He wasn't going to have that. Our best bet as fans is to go ahead and make a Green Lantern Corps movie. But instead of doing an origin, do it as if it's been going all along. So you got Hal, you got Guy, you got John.
Hey, Guy.
I mean, to me, Leslie Grace should go ahead and just be Jessica Cruz, which is an incredible character and story to use. I don't see what this whole thing is like, well, you got to kill Hal off to get John. That's not the way the comic worked. That is not the way the comic worked. So you don't need to kill anybody off. What we do need is a lot of characters from whom we can see different perspectives and put them different places. I just don't understand this, because it's the same thing with Spider-Man. That's my big pet peeve, even with Spider-Man. Well, we can't bring in Miles until we kill off Peter. Who says? That's like saying, well, we can't do anything with Nightwing until, Batman dies. That's dumb. That's
I know, right?
Dumb. Grow the universe, grow the characters. Each character, each comic book, each IP has the potential of growing beyond and becoming its own thing. Batman and Spider-Man are an example of two IPs that have so many characters in them. They might as well just be their own individual major potential universes. So my thing is, why not just grow your universe? Green Lantern has the potential to have so many cool characters in it. There's no need to really kill anybody off. There's so many great stories to tell. I get that some of you younger people don't get what it is about Hal Jordan, but let me tell you something. There is a whole segment in our society who identifies with that character, partially because of what he does or what he goes through, or even his political beliefs.
Yeah. Hey, remember, this show's also about the chat. So we need to look over there. And a friend of yours is mine just commented from Facebook. Guess who this is?
Okay.
That's yours and my buddy, Scott Lewis.
Aw. Thank you, Scott. The Bat family be great. And
good morning to you, Scott. So good to see you. I wish that StreamYard would be friendlier to Facebook viewers and show their names. I think that's wrong. There's a lot of fucked up things with StreamYard.
The only other easy way to really interact with us is to go straight to YouTube and actually comment on the actual stream that we have going. So if you don't want to do that, you can always go to YouTube and comment right then and there. So
yeah, I'm trying to get, that was not the one I wanted. I want to get to that one. Good morning, Wizard Beard. How are you doing? Thanks for joining the show, man. They're space cops. I don't think when a new cop is hired, they kill off an old one.
That was their plan. For every version that they've tried to do of doing a new Green Lantern movie, they always suggested in every script that at least I heard about that they were going to kill off Hal Jordan. That was their number one thing. So that's the reason why you never saw anybody wanting to step into the role, because nobody wanted a job for that. They didn't want to just be a one-hit wonder. They didn't want to walk into this franchise and go, well, I'm gone. Nobody wants to do that. That's a waste of time. So even Ryan Reynolds didn't want to come back for that. So Walter Hamada never understood it because he never read it. That's part of the reason why DC didn't do so well. You had somebody in charge of DC Films who never was a comic book fan.
Stone Pine Media, good morning. Good to see you. We don't see you enough, man. I know you've got probably a busy career, but it's good seeing you in here, and thanks for joining us. Let's see. Oh, I don't know this person. This is a new person. Black As. That I grew up on John Stewart from... Well, look, a lot of people... Yeah, I know a lot of people who are big John Gardner.
Well, I should
John
say
Stewart fans.
John Stewart fans that came in through the Justice League cartoon. What I'm talking about are the John Stewart, OG John Stewart fans from the early 1970s who started with the comics. Okay, there are a lot of... Look, that Justice League cartoon was fun to watch, but they got a lot wrong. A lot of what they did with John Stewart in that series doesn't match
Real Wave
up
Nation.
with
Good morning.
With the comic book.
Gap After Dark. Hey, man. I'm sorry I'm going to cut into you because I've got to say hi to our chat. And let's see. What was he? Wizard said, doing great, Gary. I actually watch you guys all the time, but I'm usually outside working. It's too hot and muggy today, so you're here. Thanks, man. I'm glad to see that.
Thank you.
I know some other people tell me that they don't participate in the chat, but watch our show. And I love hearing that, that they get a kick out of what we're doing here. And this morning show is just me, usually just me bitching about things.
That's a good question, Gap After Dark. You had a lot of people that were not comic book fans. They never.
Well, we heard also, didn't we hear something about an HBO series?
There was, I can't say that. There has been no official word on what the...
Yeah, this is the rumors that we're hearing.
All I do know is that it looks like it's done. And that's fine. It's fine with me if it's done.
This is, of course, under the management of Hamada, so my expectations are low.
Look, a good example of the stuff that I, as a Green Lantern fan, would like to see is just some of the stuff that you saw in Green Lantern, the animated series, although that was heavily focused on just Hal. I think if you were to combine a lot of their storytelling with a lot of the stuff you saw in those comics, you'd have something closer to what I think should be seen personally on the cosmic side of the DC universe, and to open it up. The Green Lantern Corps allows you to open up to other things like the Manhunters, you know, or even the Thanagarians, which would be excellent to see. But again, Walter Hamada didn't read the comics, so he didn't understand that there were actually heroes of color, other people there besides Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and a few other characters you might have picked up if you were watching the 66 Batman series. I mean, his understanding of things was extremely limited. And now you have a bunch of people who are pissed off, mainly because they don't realize that the guy that they're really, you know, throwing a lot of stuff to and bemoaning didn't have that much of an understanding in the first place. Again, Gerry and I have often joked, if Zaslav were to call up Gerry right now and offer him the job, he'd be perfect for it. He'd have to hire me just to slap people that came into the office with stupid ideas because, you know.
Personally, I think that they should, every production studio should have a giant fucking foam hand. That should not be lightweight. It should be heavy. And that every producer, when you sign a contract with a studio, if you have a bad idea, they're allowed to come in and bitch slap you with that giant hand. And it should be video recorded and posted publicly. Showing, you know, this is a trust thing for fans to be able to see, seeing that some of the producers, executives that make really stupid ideas and try to make them happen get bitch slapped on video. You know, I'll tell you what, that'll scare a lot of these fucking idiots that keep wanting those jobs because they're politically and activist motivated. If they are allowed legally to be slapped on video.
That would stop a lot of that stuff. You know, Black Az, let me say something to
Hold on right there, bitch slap theater.
let me at least say this.
Duncan is here. Hold on.
Ooh.
Oh man, I love Duncan Skinner. He's a good friend of mine. He's a British expatriate, lives in Greece.
There he is.
Just one of my favorite people on this planet. He did a lot of our early intros, and I like to get him to do more stuff because I love his voice. When they lock up Ezra Miller, his fellow inmates will be referring to him as the Flash. That's his nickname. It's going to be his prison nickname. Speedster.
One of the things that I have going against Walter Hamada, one of my complaints with him was the fact that, you're running a company where you don't have a lot of characters of color. One would think that you would take every opportunity to invite more characters of color in. This is the complaint from the people that are complaining about the fact that Batgirl got canceled. Walter Hamada, in all his years as the president of DC Film, never once decided to bring in the milestone characters. Never once. Never occurred to him. Never. And yet, over the last 2 years, what's the biggest thing that they've signed?
Good morning, Darius.
Was they have Michael B. Jordan. Let that sink in for a moment. Michael B. Jordan is a member of Milestone Media. So you tell me. I mean, they want to do a static film. They also want to do an icon film. Now, let me stop some of you that you're going, oh, Michael B. Jordan.
I would be fine with it still script. It would still be great theater. Check your DMs. Oh, wait. Oh, you can't today? Okay, I got your message, Wade. Real Wade, I invited Real Wade Nation to join us, but they can't. Because I wanted him to talk about his show, because he's streaming now. Well, streamed last night. Okay. Now, I'm going to be gone Thursday, so there'll be probably no show Thursday.
Yeah,
because we have doctor appointments too. I have doctor appointments, and so does Lauren. So we're going to be going to see doctors, and I think and one of the cats needs to see the vet. So it'll be a doctor day.
Hey, guess what? I'll have
what?
a doctor. I have a doctor's appointment for that day myself. So I guess it's the unofficial doctor.
Where do you go? I go to Jordan Valley. Where do you go?
Oh no, I have to go to the Whiteside building.
Oh, it's race oriented, right? I get you.
Yeah.
I got to go see a Whitey. What was that? Hold on. What was that last one?
Script doctor.
Good point. I'm actually going to go do that right now.
Yeah. Hey,
I thought he already was. Let's see. Let me go into the chat over on YouTube. I hate going over there because it's delayed, so I got to stop it from playing.
Yeah. That is a good idea, Script.
There we go.
Yeah,
you're a moderator now.
I'm pretty sure he was.
Morning, Decepticon.
And probably was told that it was too difficult to sell. Again, that's all on Hamada. If he
Kyle's here too, by the way.
If you knew what you were talking about, Hamada, you'd still have a job. If you had, look, you take a job where you're supposed to be in charge of something that's a lot of money is flowing through, you'd at least have some inkling of what you're doing. And Hamada never bothered to learn. That's the other thing. He never bothered to learn. He has not shown any growth. He's not shown any interest in any of this stuff. And he is the president of DC Films. That's another reason why he had to go. That's how little he thought of a lot of this stuff. No, Monkey Jeebus, he's not doing Static Shock. Michael B. Jordan has already stated that if Michael B. Jordan's in it, he's probably in it as Icon. Because Static is way too young of a character for him to play. So.
Oh my God, Luciano. Luciano Pereira. Luciano, I'm assuming you're Italian, and you might be able to help me with exactly what the nun used to say to me before she hit me when I was in Catholic school. She would go, "Testadora escuch," and whack the shit out of me.
Actually, I think he's Latin. Luciano Pereira.
Oh, then never mind, buddy.
Yeah, we stole names from everybody.
Well, it's all Latin based. Even the Italians are Latin based. The French are Latin based. 75 YBA. Goose stepping morons. I don't know what that's about. You are Brazilian. Look, I got to tell you, I've never counted that high. I've never counted as high as a Brazilian. I made that joke. Oh. There's this for me for making that joke. Oh my God. I'm not sure. Wait, what you responded to, Marshall? Because of history? I'm not sure what that's in reference to. This goes all under the Roman Empire. Oh, I got you. Okay, got you. I'm Scottish. Oh, shut up, Bill. If it's not Scottish, crap. Good morning. How you doing? I see you sneaking in and out of here, Darius. I saw you. See, who else has joined us here? Yeah, I think I've gotten everybody. Decepticons Cave, I said hello to while Keith was talking. The Nud can only say Gerry, no. I was called Mr. Cassell as a child by the Catholics, nuns. They never called any of us by our first names. Even in public school, there was one teacher we had, Mrs. Jargowski, and it was really funny because when grade report time happened, she would write an envelope and she did her own calligraphy, and she would say master or mistress, and then the name. And in the class, one of my closest friends at the time, he probably would still be one of my closest friends to this day if he hadn't died young. He died young. Was my buddy Rodney Bates, and she wrote Master Bates on his envelope, and she didn't realize how fucked up it was until she called him up saying what's on the envelope in the middle of class to get his grades, and everybody in the class erupted in laughter, and then she went, oh, it's one of those moments where it's like, oh, no. Rodney died right out of high school, and he was working for the city, and he pulled up to a down power line, and his vehicle made contact with it, and when he stepped out of the vehicle, he grounded and was killed instantly. And he was burned really bad, so it was a closed casket funeral. But Rodney was a great guy, man. Just fucking sweetheart of a dude. Calligraphy is dope. I agree with you, man. I love calligraphy. I considered at one time learning it because I owned those kinds of pens. A lot of my early inks were done with those kinds of pens. I use India ink. I dip in ink, do my inks that way. I even had brushes. And then at the advent of Photoshop getting good enough in the 2000s, I went digital. And it's pretty much all I do. Even though I still, and the Script Doctor likes this. This is stuff. Oh, there. Can you see that at all?
Kind of, sort of.
Sometimes I take a break from the desk and I just go lie down, chill out. I just do sketches in this little book. This is a gift from Lauren, sitting over here behind me. She gave me this nice little sketchbook.
Hi, Lauren.
She can't hear you, but okay, that's a really funny English as second language situation, Master Bates. Oh yeah, no backdoor stories, Anima. None. Mm-mm. And this one goes out to Anima because she has become like one of my favorite people to talk with. Here we go, Anima.
This town needs an enema.
There we go. Hold on, I'm getting messages from Real Wade Nation. I can't Thursday morning. I won't be here anyway on Thursday, Wade, so don't worry about it. But I'll try to figure out when. I promise. Just saw your message. Yeah, Fridays might be a good one. I'll be back Friday. I don't know if we're going to have a show. I mean, if Danny can do it, we'll have a show Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And but anytime, Wade, you're always welcome, man. Just let me know if you're available. Message me if you're available, and I'll invite you on either the morning show or one of our other shows. I'd like to get you on because we never really gotten a chance to talk. But I do. Wait, somebody popped in. Sorry, no? Oh yeah, Bill Barkley. I already said hi to him up there in Scotland.
Scotland.
And of course, Kyle is here. Zach's our good friend. He outgrew us here at Pop Culture Minefield. He knows I love him. And for some reason, Anima found religion.
You, Bob, are my number one.
Number one, yeah.
God.
Where do they teach? Where do they teach people like you to talk like that? And some Panamanian sailor won a hump bar? Or is this the last day at the boss's whiskey? Go sell crazy somewhere else. We're all stocked up here. That's one of my favorite Nicholson quotes. That's from As Good as It Gets. There are Jews at my table. And one of them was an old friend of mine, Lisa Edelstein. She went on to be a star, and that's when we kind of lost contact, because once she became a star, it's like, you know. But back when she was just a nobody, man, we used to email, talk all the time. She's just a real sweetheart. The biggest thing she was known for is playing Dektora in the Blade Runner game back in '97. She had a bit part as I think the crazy girlfriend in that the guy that played the Hulk in the 2000s, not the Aussie, but the other actor that got replaced by Ruffalo.
Oh,
what is his name?
Yeah,
Tim.
Ed Norton.
Yeah,
Ed Norton. Ed Norton and Ben Stiller. Romantic comedy back in the 90s. And she played, I think, Ben Stiller's crazy girlfriend. And just apparently her character is bad. I've never watched that movie. I just know she's in it. I liked Eric Bana. My problem with that movie was the director. When he took us out of the film by suddenly going to comic panels in that scene in the underground tunnel, I got so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Because it was like I'd been captured and I was watching, I was in the movie, and then all of a sudden I was pulled out of it by this sudden comic panel thing that he did. And I thought that was stupid.
You know,
you don't want to do that with film. You don't want to do that with film unless you establish it early on so you prepare your audience to not be fucking shocked by it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know, the one of my greatest regrets as far as the MCU goes is the fact that Guillermo del Toro offered the MCU the opportunity to have him join to make
for the horror.
To make a Hulk television series using the same team he had been using to do all of the work on the Hellboy films.
Yeah. Now I got to tell you, Darius, it's called suspension of disbelief. And if you break that suspension for the audience, and I know I wasn't the only one, I know a lot of fucking people who hated that. But yeah, Ang Lee broke the immersion for me. And I like him, Ang Lee. I really do. But I was really pissed about that film, the way that was done. But it was, in so many ways, a really good Hulk film.
Yeah.
But I will say that the one with Eric Bana, with Ed Norton, was a really good one. It was a nod to the TV series. They even played the theme in it. I thought that was really cool.
The Lonely Man.
Yeah.
You know, again, all of it's been
Agreed.
good.
Agreed.
I've enjoyed it.
Hi, Dragon Bricks.
I would like to see someone tackle all of the Hulk peripheral characters also. I want to see more of Betty. But I also want to see
bottle of brown paper bag. I fucking love you, Duncan. I got to tell you, Anima, you are. He's not far from you. He's right down south of you there in Greece. So you guys are in the same time zone. So there you go. I'm not a big fan of Campia. I tolerate him, because Robert Meyer Burnett really likes him. They're friends, so I'm always going to be nice about him. Yeah, Gary Busey is his whole class. Fucking Gary Busey. I weirdly liked the comic book transition in the Hulk film with Eric Bana, but I think that's crazy. That you even think that fit in, because it was so sudden. They didn't do it previously. That just was so fucking jarring. Switching from live action to just fucking.
If you were
dumb.
a child back then, there's a lot of stuff that
kids would like that. Kids don't see the stupidity of that.
I mean, you got to understand, there were kids that watched the movie Batman and Robin and thought that was fantastic.
I want to say hi to Magitech Mags is here. And of course, our good friend Brightest Day too, and Dragon Bricks, who is not new today, but is a new addition to our chat. And it's good to see all of you. Magitech Mags, you know I'm always happy to see you're in the chat. Greece is like that. No, I fucking know geography. I said it's south of you. I didn't say how many states it was away from you, silly. I said it. You are east of the boot of Italy, and Greece is down there, right? You know, you're up here, it's down here. I wasn't counting the states away. I was counting that it is. I know. I like the film with Ed Norton. Works well with the MCU, but I fucking love Ang Lee's move. Ang Lee's film, very ballsy. No, I liked the film all the way until that moment. I think if somebody would fucking just remove that and put the original live action part back in, it would be a perfect Hulk film, in my opinion. Because I fucking loved Eric Bana, because I'm a big Eric Bana fan. I love him. And I've been watching, because I knew him for stand-up comedy. Because I watch a lot of Australian TV, and I know that he was a stand-up comedian. Okay, again, fuck both of you. I don't give a shit how many states away it is. It wasn't my fucking point. That it is south of you and in the same time zone. Fucking correcting me. I really sound serious. I'm not. I'm just making fun of you guys for correcting me on something that didn't need to be corrected. Let's see. Wow, a lot of porn bot, deleting, blocking. Yay, gone. Gerry, have you seen the Hollywood Reporter article about Sean Bean and opinion on intimacy coordinators? No, I have not. I'm assuming that. Oh, it's hard to tell with Sean Bean. I got to be honest with you, because he likes his career, so it could be pretty woke. Okay, I am done with T-shirt and historian show and after show. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Hulk bots. Dude, Gerry is not that close for European standards. I don't give two shits about European standards. I knew Batman and Robin was trash in 97. I was 15. Good man.
You were 15, but think about anybody that was like 4, 5,
Zoe
6, 7.
was tiny. Yeah, she was like a little kid when she saw those Batman films, and she fucking loved them. And because of that, she still loves them to this day, but she knows how bad they are now. Yeah, 3. See, there you go. Wow, elevation above the heart thing does work fast. I don't know what's going on with you, Monkey Jesus, but it does. It takes the swelling down.
Dude, Recluse just beat him right now.
I thought he was kidding.
No, I'm telling him he must go to the doctor.
Yeah,
right
you need
now.
to. Look, I'm one of those lucky people, that 1 percentile that don't react as bad. But don't fuck around with a recluse bite. It's listed as one of the most poisonous spiders in this country for a reason. It's not a neurotoxin. It is not even really a hemotoxin. It is its own kind of toxin that lies to your cells in your body and tells your body healthy tissue needs to be destroyed. And your T cells and antibodies go to work on healthy tissue quickly. And it can escalate very quickly. Like, again, I'm very lucky. Don't fuck around with it, monkey. Do not. No, I don't care, Marshall. I was just fucking around. I like teasing Anima. Thinks she's so smart. Smug Anima. I think Sean Bean called them out. Now that surprises me because he likes working in film and he would like more work, but that makes me happy to hear that, Marshall. That really does.
I think part of it is the fact that he is slowly becoming a man of a certain age And even if you
where we
are
get sick of shit, stupid shit.
well, but also you're not getting used for a lot, so you might as well just start letting people know how you feel, and like a certain person on Twitter every Sunday will do that. So
yeah, I keep beating everybody to it. Every time I see that bot come in, because I get tired of seeing them on my screen. And if somebody else does it, it's still on my screen. But when I do it, they disappear. They are completely removed from my screen. Magitech Mags. Anybody else new popping in? Oh, Peter Vinkman Fansite's here. Good morning. I love our chat. Look at us. We're almost at 40 right now. I'm so grateful for you guys coming in. And as we have moved into the second hour, I really do want to bounce over to talk about Olivia Newton John. He survived the spider bite because he always wears a condom. Yeah, I got to tell that thing because part of when I was doing stand-up comedy back in the 80s, I didn't do what I do now, which is more improv and spontaneous humor and more about telling stories. Back then, I was actually writing comedy, and I purchased a box of condoms one day, and the day that I bought them, I was in the store and I was in there with Matt McGuire from the rock band Guar. He was with me when this happened, as were some of our fellow buddies, Brian Embry. I think Pat was in there. These are all still friends of mine. We're, long-haired weirdos, as Father Weems used to call us. Oh, look at you, long-haired weirdos. We all had long hair, and I went in and I said, what's your largest condom? And the young lady brings out the XXXL condoms. And I said, do you have anything better? And then I looked behind the counter and I said, just give me one of your hefty bags and I'll go ahead and take a box of condoms. And everybody was just like, fucking like, what did you just tell that girl to give you a hefty bag? And anyway, so I used that box of condoms in my comedy act because have you ever read what's written on some of those boxes? I mean, first, on the back of it, on the side where it's got the instructions, for some reason, there's instructions. It says, when properly used, and I'm thinking, how do you improperly use it? Like put it over a leg, put it over your arm? Like how do you improperly use a condom? Like just throw it at the girl while you're having sex? I mean, how do you improperly use a condom? I just want an example on that. Don't just tell me when properly used. But it continues, and it says, when this condom is properly used, it will deliver for you and your partner all the satisfaction and protection. And I saw the word satisfaction, and I said, if it does that, why do I need a partner? I'll just slap one of those things on. Go to town. Fucking dumb shit. And then on the front of the box, this is great. This is like back in 86. There was this gold medal. It was like imprinted with gold and looked like a ribbon. And it said, now with non-oxynol 9. Like that's an award. And what the fuck is non-oxynol 9? That shit cracked me up back in the day. Balloons are not condoms. And condoms are not balloons, despite the fact that I've seen them used as such. The mean thing I used to do when I was in the Army, before my guys would wake up, because I was a squad leader, everybody in my squad, I would go to their Foot Locker handles, and I would invert a condom over their handles, because they would be getting up in the dark, and they'd grab that handle and get a handful of fucking spermicide in their hands. I know I'm a terrible human being, but it was a big laugh. You could hear him going, oh, motherfucker. God damn it. A lot of cussing with my squad. I'd yell out of my room because I had a private room. I'm like, everything okay out there, guys? Good? Ready for formation? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen those boxes. It's funny. The condom tree and Lethal Weapon, yes. Go ahead and join, man. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up some graphics here as we transition into serious mode. Serious mode, man. We're getting serious now. Because I want to talk about this young lady. Right here. That's Olivia Newton John in the movie Xanadu. I love that fucking movie. I love the soundtrack. I'm a big Electrolyte Orchestra fan, ELO. And she was such a gorgeous lady. Absolutely. Any of us who were from that age had crushes on her because she was such a sweetheart. What a voice. And, of course, she finally succumbed to cancer. She'd been fighting cancer and won several times. She had been fighting breast cancer for a long time.
Fuck cancer.
Yeah, fuck cancer. Fucking took her. You know, and a lot of people don't know that her life has been filled with tragedy. You know, besides the cancer, Olivia Newton John's husband is one of those people who went missing on the ocean. He went out to do on his yacht to sail, circumnavigate. I'm not sure of the entire globe or what, but he disappeared in the middle of the ocean. Nobody knows what happened to him. His boat was found, as I recall, but no sign of him or what happened. Yeah, Daryl, sometimes it happens. I'll just spontaneously say spermicide.
Oh, wow.
But it's good to see you, Daryl. Good to see you, man. I got to check this out. What is this? Oh, yes, Olivia Newton John. I'm not going to share my screen because that seems to really robot me. So I'm not going to do that one. But Olivia Newton John is I'm not going to create my own free account, right? Oh, fuck you. God damn it. It's making me. Keith.
What did I do now?
Sent me a link I have to fucking join.
Then don't do that. Don't do that.
Too late.
You know what?
It's too late. You've done the damage.
Damn it, Matt.
Log in with password, log in without password. Okay. I want a free subscription. No, I'm not going to pay. No, fuck you. No, I'm not going to do it. So I'm leaving that article. They want me to pay. I am not a big fan of that. The New York Times is a garbage magazine, but they do have a good entertainment section. The only thing I think is worth a shit.
Well, I also like their obituaries. You know, they used to be the.
You're so creepy.
I know. I do realize that.
I like reading the obituaries, and I like crashing funerals.
I like it. I like to read it.
What if spermicide has the ability to spontaneously combust a full-grown human being? I don't know. That would be a good movie. Like people putting on condoms and then exploding.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, I talked about that yesterday, Marshall. I talked about him, and I also talked about Clu Gallagher because we lost both of those actors the same day. But really, in many ways, we lost. I just forgot the actor's name that played TC. We lost him last Thursday.
Yeah, Roger
and he had been in critical condition. Oh, God damn it. They beat me to it, so now I got to see the fucking bots. Oh, at Gerry Excel, where was it that you said yesterday that you were on a lot? Because I've been trying to contact you on Twitter, but you're not responding. If that's my personal account, I only go on there for one person. So I might miss you. If you message me through the PCM account, that's at Popcall Minefield. You're more likely to get me. The only person that really. Good morning, Wade. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Sorry. Busy morning. Sorry.
Hey, did you see while we were doing the show, fucking Monkey Jeeves got bit by a recluse
Ooh.
live on the show? I thought he was fucking around.
Thanks.
That's so. Yep, good to see you're here. So you streamed last night. What did you stream? Fortnite.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were like Fat Steve Seagal and you like playing gay games.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyhow, yeah, I do it at night, 10:50 Central, 11 to earliest I normally do it. But yeah.
Well, fantastic, man. Glad you're doing it, dude. Do you have the ability to? Do you have a wrench by your name?
No.
Okay, then share the link to your channel in our private chat here. Send it to me in the private chat right here, and I'll share it out there so folks can go watch you. Oh, that's for me. No, I want to post yours. Oh, by the way, did you see that Fortnite is doing a Transformer? Yeah, I saw that. And you know what happened? My pulse didn't jump. I did not get excited about it. Nothing about Fortnite excites me. I'm like, I'd rather play Call of Duty. You know, I jumped on there just so I could play with Fat Steve, and the first words out of my mouth were, "This game is gay. I do not like it. I don't like the way people move. I don't like any of the action in it. I don't like the weapons. There's nothing in this game I like." And other people told me there's another game that's a lot like it, that's the original or some shit like that, built on the same engine. I can't remember the name of it. What was it?
I sent the link to you.
Oh, you did? Okay, thank you. Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys. I'm going to post this for you guys.
I have 16 followers right now, which is nice. But yeah. But
live gaming stream. There we go.
Yeah, I'll do one. Hopefully plan is I'll do one more tonight, and then I'm not gonna do one the rest of the week, probably till next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is probably when I'll pick it up again, because I have places to go, but but as soon as I get back, I plan on picking it up. I just had prior trips to do, but yeah.
Very cool, man. Well, I wanted you to just drop in to promote your channel.
No problem.
I'm going to need to get back to what we were talking about because I've got a half hour. You bet, buddy.
But thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for dropping in, buddy. There is his channel. Go check it out. Look, man, people love that Fortnite, dude. PUBG, that's the one I was trying to think of, Monkey. That's it. Also, by the way, ice your wound. Get it really cold. Anyway, but you really do need to either get into an appointment as fast as possible, because there's a good chance, there's like a really good chance you're not like me. And because I am a mutant, I'm in that weird 1% that doesn't react to the recluse bites the same way. I mean, I do react to them, but I don't. It's like right now it's itching like crazy, my bite, and it's still really red, but just in that one spot. And so I'm just sort of taking it easy, just watching it. I just watch it every day, because the doctors told me that 1% could change with the next bite. But anyway, PUBG is the game that somebody recommended to me. But I'm like, look, if it's doing the same thing as Fortnite, then I'm not going to enjoy it. I want Call of Duty. I want military stuff that used as military tactics work and military weapons. And I like having my character look like they're in the military. What's this? I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. I lost my mother to leukemia. And my brother, Michael, technically died of cancer. Technically, because what happened was he had gotten treatment. The doctors believed that they caught the cancer early enough, caused by hepatitis C, and left untreated. Fucking idiot, my brother. I love him, but miss him. But what ended up happening is he hemorrhaged, and he hemorrhaged for too long without seeking medical treatment. And by the time 9 hours later, after it started, my sister got home, called for an ambulance. It was too late for him. His organs began to slowly collapse, and one catastrophic failure after another. And he was dead by 1 o'clock in the morning, Mountain Time. So cancer still killed him. So there you go. Wade Nation live gaming stream. Go check that out, guys. Good friend. Very good friend to this channel. We love Wade. But I want us to get back to talking about Olivia Newton John. Olivia was one of those singers that also transitioned over to acting. And she's Aussie. A lot of people don't know that. She was from the great continent. And as I was telling you, her husband disappeared. And she was devastated by that. And she spent years, and she would show up on news programs because she had put a lot of money in, and people were funding an investigation to find out what happened to him, and nothing ever got found out. And it's just one of those mysteries. Her husband went out sailing, and this isn't like a husband who wanted to get away. They were happily married. And he went out to do this amazing thing, and a lot of people speculate that he was probably taken and killed by pirates, real pirates, not the Armati, but real ocean pirates, like you get around the Horn of Africa. Mm-hmm. It's really dangerous waters out there. People don't know. And this includes even off of South America on the Pacific side. There's been a lot of people going yachting that just disappear. A lot of them believe that this involves the cartels. You never know, man. But I did want to find something about her. Nobody gives a shit about Jane Seymour remembering Olivia Newton John. Let's go over here to The Guardian. Olivia Newton John, quote, "I don't wish cancer on anyone else, but for me, it has been a gift. I'm not sure how it was, but I'm sure that she will find a positive," because she was a very positive person. If you've ever seen her in interviews and in candid conversations, there's a really, no acting. She was like this really sweet, caring person. And she, when her husband went missing, it was devastating for her. If you have a difficult moment, music is always a great healer, she said at one point. And I think it's very important to keep that positive message going in your head. It's one way of that people survive cancer is by trying their best to remain positive, because positive thinking really does help. Probably Captain Phillips type shit, but those pirates were going for commercial vessels. There are actually small-time pirate criminals that seek out people and just want to rob them out on the water. They're, the brigands of the sea looking for money. I don't think that he would have been hit by Somalian pirates. He was hit by most likely Malaysian pirates. Yeah, look, I'm not going to say it's mine, but I did like it as a kid. I liked her songs in particular, but I'm more of a Xanadu fan. I really love that soundtrack. What's his name? Jeff from ELO, his lyrics, really good stuff.
Jeff Lynne.
Yeah, Jeff Lynne, great fucking songwriter. And I've always said he was the fifth Beatle. because he was so inspired by the Beatles with the Electrolyte Orchestra, and you could hear it in a lot of his music, the Beatle influences on what he did. And so it's no surprise years later that he would be a part of the Traveling Wilburys with George Harrison. Because that's who he was the biggest fan he was George Harrison. He also liked Paul McCartney's vocals and how he would do his vocals. And you'll hear, like when he does a lot of his chorus, the backing vocals, you will hear very Beatlesque backing vocals. It sounds like Paula and or John. Yoko was not the fifth Beatle. Penny, JJ, he was funny. Let's see. Newton John was appointed Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, in the 1979 New Year Honors, and Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, DBE, in 2020 New Year Honors for service to charity, cancer research, and entertainment. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. But let's talk about Olivia too, man. Jump in. Because all of us were impacted by her. You're impacted by her too.
I have to say that her work, both as a performer, but also, she had supermodel looks. It was hard not to really like her. She was not someone that you needed a whole lot of convincing to like. And
she had those pixie features. She looked like a little pixie.
Yeah. And you got to remember, you got a lot of competition for the dollar back then. I mean, at the time when she was making her way, I mean, you had John Denver, who was all over the charts at that time. And you had even ELO were making themselves known. I mean, this is 1970s. I mean, there's kind of a few different acts and a lot of AM radio acts. So for you younger kids out there, yeah, AM radio was a thing. But she was someone who her voice really stood out compared to a lot of the music of that time period.
She had such a bright voice.
Yeah. I mean,
it hit a very pleasing tone.
You had people like Helen Reddy and ABBA and all the Gibb Brothers stuff. And in the midst of all of that music of the 1970s, whether you're talking Stevie Wonder or even really a lot of the hits of even the Jacksons, she stood out because it was all tied in. You could not hear any of her songs without thinking about her. She was the ultimate brand because it was an all-in-one inclusive thing. And I'm surprised she didn't have her own Saturday morning cartoon. Let's put it that way. That's how big she became.
Yeah. And, a lot of people, she didn't do a lot of films. A lot of people think she did a lot. The fact is her films within the 80s and in the late 70s were really the primary thing. Because, I remember when she did the movie Two of a Kind.
Yeah.
With Travolta. It was like they were expecting it to be a hit, and it was a flop. It was kind of sad because it was nice to see him, but what an all-star cast, man, that they worked with. You had Oliver Reed in that. What is his name? Charles Durning was in it. Charles Durning was in it. And of course, it had they did a duet in it, but it just didn't capture the magic previously. And this was the beginning of the downward slide for Travolta too, career-wise.
Well, a lot of people had downward slides.
Yeah, he had that downward slide and then came back with Look Who's Talking.
Yeah.
But then they started making the mistake of doing sequels. And I think that was a huge mistake doing sequels to that film.
Well, Travolta's big thing was he never stopped working. That is the one thing you got to understand about Travolta. Part of the reason why he was able to come back quickly is that he never stopped working.
Yeah, and Harrison Ford kind of criticized him in person, talking to him. I remember back in the 90s hearing about this, that Ford told him, "You're making too many films. It's not good for your career to do that."
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "You should do like what I do. You know, you're that kind of star." Because he called him that kind of star. You do 1, 2 tops a year. You know, survive on that. And Harrison Ford, you know, look what he had such longevity. And that's what he would do. He would do 1 to 2 films a year, no more.
Well, Harrison also had him beat. I mean, Harrison had been acting a lot longer than he had.
Right. But
Harrison,
Travolta still hit that stardom.
Oh, yeah.
Ford almost quit acting.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if it weren't for Star Wars, he would just be a carpenter.
Yeah. And he would have done very well for himself because his work was really well, really well received and sought after. But getting back to Olivia, I think she was 28 when she did Grease, which
She was damn near 30.
Yeah. So I mean,
there was another actress in the film that was playing a teen that was also already in her 30s, and that's give me a second, Stockard Channing.
Yeah.
But the thing about Olivia Newton John is she really looked young for her age.
I gotta say, you know, I mean, 1978 will always be one of those years. I mean, it was the year of Superman and it was the year of Grease.
Yep. And Grease came out in 78 after a hit run as a musical on stage. And there were changes made for the film.
Mm-hmm.
And a new song, in fact. They wrote that they gave it a more disco feel because that was still apparently big in 78, even though I hated it. Despite the fact that I liked the Bee Gees. I just didn't like disco.
Yeah.
And the only disco album I bought had Disco Star Wars and Disco Cantina Band. And it was put out by that company with the cow for their logo that put out a lot of disco.
It was Stigwood's, the manager of the Bee Gees. That was, I think, his.
I can't think of his name. Yeah, because that album had RSO.
Yeah.
RSO. Because I remember on that same album, there were 3 Bee Gees songs on there. Mm-hmm. They also had a classic. What was that song? Oh crap! It was in Car Wash. It was one of the songs in the soundtrack for Car Wash, and of course, it had a song from The Wiz. It had Diana Ross and Michael Jackson song on that album from The Wiz, and I ended up enjoying that album. But I'm not a fan of disco. Never liked it. I thought that the dancing. I went to because it was an elective in middle school, and you had to pick something, and everything else sucked. And I thought maybe that'll be fun. And Mike Beatty and I joined a disco dancing class, and I really fucking hated it. I really hated it. I don't want to know these dance moves. This is dumb. Live action Pac-Man movie in the works. Why? God knows. It's like, look, don't get me wrong. I like the movie Battleship, but its connection to the Milton Bradley game is dumb.
Tenuous at best.
Yeah, it's just all you see in the film is the alien weapons are pegs from the game. That's it. It involves ships, and when the aliens fire a weapon, they're designed specifically to look like the pegs from the game, the Milton Bradley game, Battleship. There you go. One of my favorite films, again, I want to go over this, in Xanadu. What did you think of that film and that soundtrack?
Loved it. And here's the other thing. One of the ladies in the chorus who was playing one of Olivia Newton John's sisters in that was Sandal Bergman, who is from.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she was a dancer.
Yeah, she was a dancer then.
Most people know her for Conan, but the fact is, she was a really trained dancer, and
Legs
man,
forever. Legs forever.
Thanks to Conan, I really had a crush on her in my youth.
Met her.
Yeah,
Met
fuck
her.
you, Keith.
Close enough to touch her. And I will say this. Oh my God. Being a teenager, I'm surprised. I'm surprised I was able to manage the word hi.
Yeah, I don't understand the need for Pac-Man or Tetris movies. That just sounds stupid.
It's an executive trying to make their way.
But one of the things I also loved about that movie, Battleship, just off the cuff, is the fact that they had an actual wounded warrior with prosthetics in the film fighting the aliens. And he was a real wounded warrior, not just playing one. The guy who directed that, give me a second, I got to look it up. So I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah.
He did the movie Rundown with The Rock. Peter Berg.
Yeah, Peter Berg. Late for Dinner. Good movie.
He was also involved with the Entourage.
Mm-hmm.
But some of his better films are the ones that were really about American people serving their country. He did he did the movie Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg, and he and Mark Wahlberg really hit a chord with each other, so they've worked together. And he did that other film. What was it called? Hold on, I'll get it here. What was that movie called? Give me a second, I'll find it. He directed Collateral too. I forgot. Yeah, you brought that up. Good film, Michael. Wait, no, he didn't direct it. What did he do on that film? Because Michael Mann directed it, right?
Collateral? He may have co-written.
No, he acted in it. He was in it. Yeah, he was a character in it. But I got to go to. I want to get away from producer. I want to get
Selma Hayek. Selma Hayek is definitely on a lot of guys' lists to talk to.
Oh, and he directed the Mark Wahlberg Netflix movie Spencer for Hire, basically Spencer Confidential.
I loved Spencer.
It was great. It was so right out of the book. He really did it like the book. But Mile 22 is another one he did. And there's a funny line in that film. I don't think they meant to be funny. When the guy that he is the villain is about to get on that plane, turns to me and says, "Say hi to your mother." And I thought, what a queer line. That was so odd. Because it's, I don't know if they knew that was a joke because of Saturday Night Live. But anyway, Patriots Day, true story, good film. Deepwater Horizon, I could only watch that once. Let's see. Lone Survivor, Battleship. But it was really his first big film that The Kingdom.
That was good.
Rundown and all those films. I liked The Rundown, and I liked Friday Night Lights.
Aww.
And Hancock was really not that bad a superhero film, although it suffers a really bad third act. And from what I understand, that was because of forced reshoots by the studio that it fucked it up. But I want to say that his movie, The Kingdom, is one of my favorite military films that's actually not about the military, but about the FBI doing military shit in the Middle East. And that was how he got away with it. He wanted to make a patriotic film showing Americans fighting terrorism.
That entire cast was amazing.
Oh, fuck yeah. Holy shit. What's his name? Oh, my God. He's also in Hancock. What is his name? Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
When he gets taken hostage and they're going to cut his fucking head off in the Kingdom, and they fucking rescue him. Oh, what a fucking movie. But anyway, I know we've drifted away from Olivia Newton John, But I really, I fucking love Peter Berg. I think he's a good director. He's on the outskirts of Hollywood. Even though he works in Hollywood, he is not a Hollywood type. He believes in patriotism. He believes in the flag. He supports our warriors, whether he agrees with the war or not. And he doesn't speak out against them. He says that when you do that, you give aid and support to the enemy when you speak out against the war that our soldiers are fighting. And it's okay. Vote is how you do things. But when you start speaking out, be careful, because those warriors hear you, and you can actually impact them emotionally and psychologically by saying those things. And you destroy their morale when you say those things in public. And that's why I dislike celebrities who talk too fucking much in public. Absolutely, Duncan. It's garbage filmmaking, but it's so much fun, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you love the characters. The warriors are just fucking warriors, And that is the only connection, is the name and those fucking the weapon cannons rounds the aliens fire at the humans to destroy the ships are designed to look like the pegs from the fucking game. But perfectly watchable and undemanding way. And that was welcome. Yeah, the Wounded Warrior guy, man, black dude. I don't remember his name, man, but him fucking fighting that alien with his fucking prosthetic leg, man. God, I love that scene. September, isn't it? Also, is it really? Wait. Yeah, right. September. I had to count. I forgot what number month September was. Star Trek. It's still available right now on Paramount Plus, but the fact is, Larry, man, I want that 4K cut, even though humans don't see in 4K. It's still, I know the effects are going to be just visually stunning.
Oh, of course.
And my problem with watching on Paramount Plus is you're streaming it, so it's not true 4K.
Yeah, I think when it comes out and is available in Blu-ray and 4K, I want my copy. And hopefully Paramount's smart enough to do something big, maybe in the type of packaging they put it in, or do something really special. Because it's Star Trek, the motion picture, people.
Well, one of the things, there's a shot of Vedras is approaching Earth. That's from left screen, and it's, you can see part of it, and it extends out, and then at the bottom right is Earth. That when you see that in the original DVD or Blu-ray, is kind of muddy looking. But when you see the crisp, clear, fucking surface detail and effects on it in the 4K version, it's a different fucking show. And I know they went back and cleaned that shit up. They did it. They actually spent some money cleaning up the effects. We know that the bridge scene, not the Starship Enterprises bridge, but the bridge when they walk out of the ship on the hull and then walk up that bridge up on, it looks like the Irish Giants, what do they call it? The Giant Causeway or Giants Causeway with those, I think they're octagonal cut rocks that come up out of the ground. It looked like it was man cut, but there's just something that happened in the cooling process. Mm-hmm. But Paramount does make some smart decisions, but for the most part, they're idiots.
I could see them using a message from Alex Kurtzman, who probably spend the majority of that message talking about his Star Trek rather than what you're about to watch.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, Paramount's not the smart one so much as they luck into smart decisions working with smart people. And in particular, SEAL Team. SEAL Team is really good. I like some of the shows on Paramount. I really do. Big fan of anything related to Yellowstone. Anything by Sheridan. I fucking love his shows. The Mayor of Kingstown. What a great fucking show. But yes, he did say that. Keith did say that Paramount's smart in the same sentence.
I just
What's
think that
Oh, read that. They'll probably send you a greeting card signed by Alex Kurtzman. That's how smart they are. No, I do not like Rihanna. I don't like her music. I don't think she's that good a person. I've seen some of the shit she's done behind the scenes, and she's your typical fucking diva. Not a big fan. But yeah, I didn't enjoy her parts in the film, but I did enjoy that film. It's just silly fun. But SEAL Team, SEAL Team with David Boreanaz. I love that show, man. I like that they went from CBS to Paramount because now they can cuss, and now it sounds like a show about military personnel. Because, man, you've never seen colorful language until you're around a fucking bunch of soldiers or warriors, I should say, warriors. Yeah, me too. I prefer Battleship over Transformers, Duncan. Yeah, I haven't even seen. I watched Bumblebee only because Keith liked it. That's the only reason I watched it, and I kind of enjoyed it. But I'm kind of tired of that version of Bumblebee. I want Bumblebee. I would like Bumblebee. Bumblebee can talk. For Christ's sake, this whole mute thing is so annoying. But the previous Transformer film, I've still never watched it. The last one I watched was the one with Leonard Nimoy as the villain. It dealt with the all spark on the moon and all that shit. And I did not enjoy that film. It was Mark Wahlberg was in it. I remember that. And I was like, I'm done. Because I really don't. I'm not a big Shia LaBeouf fan. I really didn't think he was that good or likable. And then coming out that he was crazy, I'm like, no surprise. I actually do have Gray Man set in my playlist to watch. I will watch it, buddy. Dark of the Moon. That sounds familiar. What is that?
Transformers, Dark of the Moon.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's the one I haven't watched.
I think that's the one written by Kurtzman and his ex-partner, I think.
What is this? Lamont Dozier. Oh, he co-wrote it. Yeah, he's dead. Lamont Dozier. Passed away. I'm going to bet he was in his 80s. Yep, he was 81. Because he's been around since the beginning of Motown.
Oh, yeah. I found out a very weird story about him about 2 years ago, that he and his other songwriting partners were making extra money by buying actual artwork, or at least actual work from comics. They would buy the actual panel work done for the comics.
Yeah, and the guys that he worked with were brothers. It was Holland brothers. Yeah, the Holland brothers.
And just the number of hits they had were just...
Yeah, well, Duncan, if you remember that year, you had two Earth-destroying meteor films. You had
one was
Deep Impact and Armageddon. And Armageddon was the popcorn film.
Yeah.
And it was a far more enjoyable film. I got angry because the director, producer took advantage of our emotions and gave us 4 fucking emotional death of Bruce Willis character scenes. Instead of just giving us the one, they went for the second one. And I got emotional. I'm like, I don't like that when movie makers are intentionally manipulating my emotions. I don't like that. And once you hit that second one, it's starting to feel like manipulation. And then they did a third one, and then they did a fourth one in the con room. And I'm like, that's it. I fucking hate this movie. But I don't. I really did enjoy the film. There's some great comedy in it. There's some great action in it. But when I'm asked which one do I prefer, Deep Impact is the far better film. It's better written, better directed. It was darker, more somber.
It's got a few visual effects problems. And
yeah, there's
a couple of logic problems in the film. especially with the character played by what's his name?
I thought you were going to say the company's wife, ex-wife.
Well, yeah,
Tia
she's
Leo.
in it also. But I mean, there's a couple of.
Well, she's the reporter.
Yeah.
That discovers what Ellie is.
Yeah.
It means ELE. What is it called? Or it's a
extinction
level event. Extinction level event. That was it. ELE. And her choice to go be with her dad at the end was one of the biggest, most heartbreaking moments of that fucking movie. I cried.
The Elijah Wood segment where he gets on that
bicycle
bike and not by a small motorbike, but the distance that he had to cover to get to his girlfriend on that bike would not have happened in the way they made it seem like in that movie, like an hour or two later. No, you're pretty much on the East Coast of the United States. There's no way you're going to go from that to pretty much Southwest Missouri in an hour. That is never. And in the middle of an event where the highways are clogged with vehicles, I don't give a care. You're not making it in an hour. I'm sorry. You're just not. It's always bugged me about that movie.
Yeah. And, but some of the effects, like you said, but that scene still, I go back to that scene with her and a great German actor. God, I can't think of his name. Been around since we were kids. He was in that Disney movie, The Black Hole.
Yeah, Maximilian Schell.
Maximilian Schell. Yes. Maximilian was so good in that fucking film as her failed father, and that she chooses to die with him, to go be with him.
Hey, look, I look. It has a great cast. I mean, you got Morgan Freeman, as I said before, Elijah Wood, Leila Sobieski, Jon Favreau, Vanessa Redgrave, Maximilian Schell. I mean, it's a solid cast. James Cromwell, Mary McCormick. You know, I mean, Dougray Scott, dude.
Yeah, Dougray Scott. There's a guy who's had a fucked up life, man. Great roles, good actor. Missed every major opportunity to take over, like working on James Bond. You know, he was up for James Bond, and it was because of commitment. He couldn't take the role.
And then he missed out on X-Men.
Yep.
In the middle of taking another role. But dude, I get all
that. Yeah, and tell people who you're supposed to be.
Oh, he was cast as, he's the one that was cast as Wolverine.
Yep. He was the original Wolverine, and because of his not being able to leave his prior commitment, they brought in Hugh Jackman.
Who got hired after the production.
See you later, Gap. Oh, shit, we're at 2 hours, so we need to end the show.
And we need to wrap it up.
This episode was brought to you by our love for Olivia Newton John and our disdain for Ezra Miller and his fucking wackadoodle life. Ezra Miller, if you're watching, fuck you, dude. Fuck you big time. And I hope the FBI get you. He's now officially on the FBI's watch list. You know, for they're going to try to get him. It's no longer a police thing; it is a federal thing. So, booyah! Have fun with that, motherfucker.
Hey,
you get given time, as I was talking about with Tom O'Connell, former federal prosecutor in Las Vegas. That if you're given 20 years, odds are you're going to serve all of that. In a federal prison, but they will say and it only happens when they say this, that you can do less time. What they'll give you is the conviction. This is what I'm giving you as your sentence, but you are are open for parole this many years. That many years is the amount of time you absolutely will serve in a federal prison, and then possibly more if you're not a solid fucking decent person in prison. Infomedia. Yes. Same to you. The question is here too. What's up? The question, guys, dropping in right at the last minute here. So we lost another one. We lost Lamont Dozier, who was a big Motown guy, big songwriter.
Yeah.
So
his hits are just amazing. What he is responsible for writing will always be some of the greatest songs ever committed. And I just love his music. You can't help but love what he and the Holland brothers were able to do, So I just, we're losing too many of them, I mean, Heat Wave, how sweet it is, Stop in the Name of Love, You Keep Me Hanging On, Nowhere to Run, Bernadette. Come on. That is like the backbone of the Motown songbook. So
the question just said something so kind. Thank you so much, man. Got to go back, watch the whole show. You guys are awesome. Thank you, man. I'm glad you think so.
Oh, that means a lot. Seriously.
And I know that Tom and Andre like us. They like what we do. We have a good. Well, Keith and I, when we get together, we're best friends, so we have a great rapport. But absolutely, Wolverine 626. I love that movie, 13 Hours. Not for the political reasons, even though what happened there is the reason why you'll never get a Hillary Clinton for president. Massive fuck up. And that event was her Chappaquiddick. That was her Chappaquiddick. And but what a film. Michael Bay did a really good job of not politicizing the film and just telling the story of those warriors and what happened to them, who got killed. Yeah, Script Doctor is he's a dick. He's a friend of ours. He's a friend of mine in particular. You guys are okay-ish.
Well, he's a friend of mine too. He's been helping me.
He doesn't like you. He loves us. He's a good friend. Keith is the VIP of the show. Gerry, well, if Keith is Michael Jordan, I guess Gerry is Scotty. Fuck you, Scotty Pippen. I'm Bird. I'm Larry Bird, motherfucker. I'm from that era. You're Magic.
You guys are too kind.
You are Magic Johnson, and I am Larry Bird.
Just wait till I get my twin brother on here. I keep threatening that, but and he's heard me say
3 fucking years you've been threatening.
I know, but wait till I get him on here. You think I'm good. You think I'm something. I mean, between him and Gerry, I don't think I'll ever really get a word in edgewise because those two are just like, it'll just, wow. Wow.
And Martin says, and I'm the water boy. I like, yeah, here we go. This was a good one. Gerry is Larry Bird. He's so clear he blends into the digital background. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this show up. Keith, thanks for popping in, man, because this is a heavy day.
Yeah.
And I like being able to laugh even on shitty days like this, like you lose some great people, man. And even though they live, a lot of them lived long lives, but Olivia Newton John died young, in my opinion. I don't like that she passed away. She should have survived. She's been fighting cancer off and on for years. She's won all the way up until this last battle.
That just
it's true. Casper the Friendly Ghost is darker than me, Parrot.
I will say this. From all of the bad stuff that we've been talking about today, I did realize one thing. I think Peter Berg would be perfect to direct a lot of really cool movies for Warner Brothers for DC.
That guy should do nothing but patriotic films the rest of his fucking life.
Well, he should do Sergeant Rock. He should do Sergeant Rock.
Oh man, if you want to see one of his most fun films, go watch The Rundown. Why there was no sequel to that film blows my fucking mind. It ends with the perfect Lethal Weapon setup for a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do my thanks now. I want to thank the Marshal, Kingsport Cal, Sox Bulletins, D. Bud Martin, Dr. Dragon, Penny J, Tin Man, of course, Anima Confusa, Scribe Light, Gap After Dark. He is the Gap previously known as Stargate. Wolverine 626, Christopher Moonlight Production, our good friend Chris, Aaron Ratliff, Cy Teach 64. Sounds like Cy Teach is my age, born in 64. Das Wölfen, who would like to touch my monkey, and Script Doctor, the Script Doctor. Monkey Jeebus, one of my two favorite monkeys. Lindsay, the Cynical Geek. Rusty X 2010, The Bat Channel, Wizard Beard, Stone Pie Media, Black as, I like that, Black as, anyway, Real Wade Nation, Duncan Skinner, a good friend of mine. Go check out Duncan Skinner and his stuff. I did a poster for his movie. Really, I love his comedy. Of course, our dear friend Kyle, also known as Zax, Decepticons Cave of Villains, Luciano Pereira, Bill Barkley from Scotland, Brightest Day, Dragon Bricks, Magitech Mags, the Peter Vickman fan site, Daryl the Derelict. Let's see, I want to make sure I don't miss anybody here. The Question and Infomedia Live. I think, is that everybody? I think I got everybody.
I think so.
I think I got everybody.
Look, if we missed you, just know that we care. We're happy you're here joining us. And seriously, just continue to enjoy this guy who is exceedingly entertaining. It is always a pleasure and an honor to join you, Gary.
Thanks a lot, buddy. And I thank you for being here today, Keith. By the way, you are absolutely right. Arnie was in the rundown. And I love it because he knew The Rock was coming up as an action hero. And he walks by him and he says, "Good luck." And that was sort of his handoff to The Rock to become the new big action star. Yes. My mother languished with leukemia for 4 years. She survived. What was so bad about it with her was that once she got, because if you didn't know this, if you get chickenpox lays dormant in your coccyx. Every human being that's ever had it, it lies dormant. It comes back. It comes back as shingles. And it is one of the most painful things to have. I've had it. I got it when my immune system was at its worst with diabetes. And I understood what my mom went through. It was just fucking awful. And it attacks your central nervous and spreads. It'll go up through your spine and spread out. Usually through your ribs. It went into my head, onto my head. It was so bad. So anyway, don't recommend that. If you can get the vaccine for that. But yeah, I feel for you on that, man. I watched my mother waste away. Thank you. I'm glad you watched that, Penny. It was a good show. It was a good film. But that's it for the show, guys. Martin, you want to jump up here, say bye to everybody?
Bye, everybody.
The amazing Martin.
Thanks for being the manager, production, producer, show, whatever you want to call it, what you do. He helps make this show so much easier for me to do. Every show that he works with me on. So with that, folks, we're out of here. I want you all to have a great rest of your day. And don't forget that tonight is, unless something happens, it is Toxic Tuesday. And so I will be on Toxic Tuesday tonight. And I do believe we're doing Airplane. I think that is a film we're doing tonight. So keep your eyes on that for over on Nick Weiser's 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, Toxic Tuesday. And I'm pretty sure my other Scottish buddy will be there, that 70s rock fan. I was going to do a show with him last night. It was heavy metal. And I'm like, not a fan. Not a fan. I like some hard rock, and there's a few metal songs I really dig. But overall, it's just not my thing. I like prog rock. And so there we are. So I guess, yeah, prog rock. See you guys.